Hello, my name's Jason, and welcome back to Have a Story. God, today I want to talk about. God, I gotta quit smoking. This is all killing me. Today I want to talk about women are just as dangerous as men, and I don't understand why, when women are abusing men, people think it's okay. People don't care. So I'm going to give an example here of a day in our marriage. Our daughter was an infant. She was still eating. She just started eating baby cereal. She was in high chair right to the left of me. I'm trying to be on screen here. She was in the high chair right to the left of me. My chair was turned facing her, and she was in the corner of the table. And my son was sitting at the head of the table, and I was sitting next to my daughter feeding her. Their mother walks in the door, which is just to the left of me, and comes in and starts screaming at me because my son is eating Lucky Charms, and I'm giving him sugar for breakfast. And she sits there, just absolutely screams at me. I already showed you a text message about how she came in screaming at me, treating my children like a dog because I'm teaching them colors by using jelly beans. The insanity I put up with. And this all took place in front of our children, and it still continues to take place in front of our children, and nobody cares. I'm sick of this, that people don't even want to try to understand mental illness. They just, simple-minded people step up and go, this is just people. Nothing to see here. People do stuff. And walk away. Those are the simple-minded people that need to step down and let those of us who have half a brain and can understand, look, analyze, and think be in control. This is insanity. It's why it continues to happen. It's why this woman has a complete, lifelong, documented history of it. I'm the third husband she's done this to. So she goes back into the kitchen, and I'm sitting there for a minute going, what in the world just happened again? We have the cereal on our shelf for our kids. We don't eat it. Our kids do. So I got up and walked into the kitchen, and I said, please, you got to stop doing this in front of our kids. You can't keep yelling at me and demonizing me in front of the kids. They're never going to respect me. And this is hurting them, and it's hurting me. This has all got to stop. I went back in, I sat down, I started feeding our daughter. My wife came in with her arms up like this, charged me, and slammed me. My chair spun around, and I fell backwards into the table. I hit my back, which I already, at the time, was being evaluated for severe spine damage, which was, I just prior to that had all the imaging done, and two severe spine injuries, my lumbar and my C3 through C7 in my neck. Back then they wanted to fuse my entire spine together, put injected molding in, and cut off the nervous system on the left side of my body. And back then it was documented that the left side of my body and spine is worse. They couldn't redo imaging. I reported this to my doctor. I even reported it to my counselor. They couldn't do imaging because I had just had imaging done, and insurance won't approve all because it's expensive, and we already waste so much of our insurance money, so we can't get the help we actually need when we need it. You hear me complaining, watch my video about the medical industry. I am one of the most, you will not find, I don't know that you'll ever find anybody who's more extensively knowledged and been in. I've had so much testing. I do not just have a problem with an arm or a leg. I have severe injuries and damage through my entire body from head to stinking toe. I right now have 5 qualifying injuries that automatically are supposed to be what they call blue book disabilities. If you have any one of these, you're supposed to be eligible for disability. I have 5 of them, and it's all medically documented. You guys see me on here, and I handle pain better than anybody you'll ever know because I've experienced more of it than anybody you'll ever meet. And it started as a child. When I finish and get my life story out there, which I'm praying I can get done over the next 2 weeks, and get this case aired and done and get on with what I originally had planned on doing with this channel before my life turned into the snowball headed to hell that it's in right now. She did this right in front of our kids. My son sat at the head of the table and looked at it and goes, "Mommy just bam daddy." My kids have watched this their whole life. Honestly, the most plaguing spot in my back now is the spot that was damaged from her. Well, my neck's acting up and flared up, and my vertebrae are out of alignment. I have to wear a neck collar and keep my head straight, and I can do all that in my neck. My back, I can lay down and I can move in different positions with with where the damage is now between my shoulder blades, and now it is medically documented because I just a little over a year ago had all the testing done, all the imaging done. I've had so many images I don't even know what to say to what. EKGs, MRIs, CAT scans. I've been through so much testing over the years I don't even remember which test is actually for what anymore. I don't even try to think about it. I just try to let the doctors have it and try not to run myself down a rabbit hole thinking about my problems. I think about how do I get on with my life with my problems. My problems are supposed to be for them to figure out, not me, but unfortunately I've had to do it. So women are just as dangerous as men, especially on my behalf where I'm already have physical disabilities on top of the injuries I have now. And this is all documented. Now it is documented that the right side of my spine is worse than the left, which back then they wanted to fuse my entire spine. They actually sent us all the way down to Columbus, Ohio to have consultation with the highest experts on spine because my doctor didn't agree with what my spine doctor in Toledo was saying. He wanted me to have these surgeries now. I went down. My doctor's like, "No, you're too young. You can't be doing this now." So she sent me down to Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio is supposed to have great, huge, high-rated experts and a really high-rated spine facility. They said the same thing my doctor said. Take care of yourself. Do not hurt yourself anymore. Do not push yourself anymore to have to force this surgery. These surgeries. This is multiple surgeries. It's going to be over a year I'll be laid out from having these surgeries. Take care of yourself and don't let it happen. Then I had a wife who pushed it even further. And now I have a judge forcing me to pay her thousands and thousands of dollars for... But God, this is insanity. Do you know what this does to somebody? I'm right here showing you what it does. I watched this woman abuse my children, abuse me, and a system who all supported it. And they're still supporting it. And still treating me like the criminal. And they're destroying my life. My life will be over if this continues because I can't do this. I can't. I can't do it physically. I can't do it emotionally. I can't do it financially. And I will be done. And they don't give a damn. People want to sit here and go, they're a judge. They've got to be good. My God, when it comes out about what this is, oh my God. I don't want to talk about that right now. I'd never seen this movie before, and I was, oh my God, when they first left, I am not your normal guy. I did not sit here and go, wife and kids are gone, time to play. I laid on the ground shaking, trembling, crying, could not move, tried forcing myself to do things and couldn't. I couldn't. I would just get out a project and try to do something to focus myself and end up laying on that project crying. I'm the dad with the heart. Part of me doing this is because I have to have an outlet somewhere. I can't sit here and keep living with it. So this is somewhat of an outlet that's somewhat relieving, other than I need to get my story spread. So I'm asking people to please share this story and spread it. YouTube won't do it. They want money. I don't have it. God, I just got off track and I was saying something. Oh, so she left. I'm going through movies just trying to put on something to go through my head so I could try to sleep at night. I started taking sleeping pills. I started drinking just to sleep. I wasn't drinking because I wanted to free my brain. I could not sleep. I would go days and days and just lay in bed and cry and shake and tremble all night long and not be able to sleep. So first I started out, okay, here, supposed to take 2 sleeping pills. All right, I'll try 2 sleeping pills. Did that for 2 or 3 days. I'm like, it's 2 or 3 days. My body's got to give up. I got to be able to fall asleep, right? I haven't eaten in 3 days. I haven't. So then I took 3 sleeping pills and I still couldn't sleep. I said, all right, let's try 2 sleeping pills and a bottle of whiskey. I still couldn't sleep. I lay there and now I'm just freaking drunk and can't move, discombobulated and falling down. That didn't work. Stop that. I know my kids are still going through this. Let me ask you something. What happens when she gets with another man and hits him in front of my kids? Because she's done it every man she's been with. I can prove it. What happens when she hits that man and does it again and he hits her back? Again, I can prove she does this because she has a mental illness and can't control it. You look at the evidence I have, all the men prior kissed her butt through this stuff and then finally had enough. You can only take so much of it. So what happens when he hits her back? I mean, this is, right now, I mean, my fight 100% is for my kids and myself, but in the end, I do care about that woman. This is what she does, and it is provable that this is part of the mental illness, and she can't control it. It's provable by professionals. It's provable even in her own words. What happens if she does that in front of my kids, and this is a man who does something to my kids? This is a very dangerous situation all the way around. At 45 years old, I can prove that I'm the 3rd husband that she has done this to. That alone says something, doesn't it? I can prove she abused all of them, abused all her kids, and now has 2 dead children. But still, what does it take to get people to care? So the movie that I found, I'd never heard of this before. I don't even know where it came from. So she had to be the one that got it. I'd never even heard of this movie before. It's called Gone Girl. Oh my God. I wish I'd have never watched that movie. I did not sleep for freaking, I don't know how long. I called my counselor and said, oh my God, I just watched this movie and I can't believe what I just watched. She goes, that's what you were married to, and that's the dangers you face. Again, nobody can deny it. I have so many years, in her own words, her own actions, all of it, to prove it. And still nobody cares. They're supposed to care about children. They're supposed to care about victims. And we don't know why the world's spiraling out of control, right? My case is 110% provable. There is no denying it. Nobody's ever seen anything like what I have. And nobody cares. Not one authority. Not one entity that is supposed to be there to care about victims, because a man's the victim. I thought children were at least supposed to be the number 1 victims you cared about, right? And then looking back over time to know that if I did not even have ever heard of that movie and it's in our house, then she must have had it and watched it. which I already know, and you can already see over years that's part of why things escalate with her, because she has to outdo what she did the year before to somebody, me, the other person, whoever it is. It has to keep escalating higher and higher. That's how her brain works. What is it going to take to get to the point of her being the Gone Girl? Again, what does it take when children are involved to get them out of that situation before it's too late? And then on top of the physical danger she not only imposed and did pose on me and my children, that damage alone is bad enough. What about the mental? I want to share this with you, and I'm not proud of this at all. I roll my own cigarettes. Cost me $28 for 4 cartons. I'm smoking a carton of cigarettes about every 4 days now. When we went through this in 2019, and this is where my health really got bad because of cigarettes. I remember the day my dog and I spent almost 2 months living in a national forest while she's sleeping with another guy. I have her old phone. I have the text messages from it. She didn't even delete them. I never obviously went through them. I didn't go through it until after I'm trying to compile evidence for what I'm going through now with her. And she knows I don't go through her phone. That's why she felt safe keeping it on her phone. I can prove to you that she goes through my phone over and over and over and all the time trying to find something on me, because in her head she's got these past history cycle of what she has done that spirals through her head, but she can't accept that it was her doing it, so she projects it on the man she's with and the children that she is with. She does it to children. I can prove it. This is part of why it's so dangerous and imperative I get my kids out of there. And she especially does it to every male in her life. Doesn't matter how old that male is, 2 months old, 6 years old, 40, 50 years old, it does not matter. Something in her, it spirals in men up above and beyond anybody else. And she takes it out, and I can prove it even on our children. Like when she beat our son when he did nothing wrong. And she tried telling me it's okay to beat him when he does nothing wrong. That was right outside my back door, right here. I've been reporting this to authorities and they wouldn't do anything. I am on camera, on the sheriff's camera on his vest. When I called him out here and said my wife slapped my 2-year-old daughter in the face. And he said, no, you don't ever slap a 2-year-old daughter in the face. All right, well, we need to do something about this. And they walked away. I've been doing this for years and I'm going nuts. But she can go through my phone, which I can prove right before she left. She went through my phone. I'll show you multiple text messages. Why are you going through my phone? Why are you going through my phone again? Why? What? Oh, and I'm trying to figure this out myself. Like everything on top of not just going through my phone, but her entire demeanor spiraling out of control, and all that she did, yelling, screaming, cussing, swearing, breaking her children's toys right in front of them. And nobody cared. But she can run off and falsify court documents, which is a felony. And I can prove that she I have specific instances recorded. You've already heard them. I already aired one of them that she filed in court claiming I was the one abusing her and the kids were wrapped around her and scared of me. And the court still sided with that? What the hell is this? You heard the recording. I played it for you. Watch, and I broke that video down. Watch the first, the PP order part 1. I broke those videos down. That recording is in that. The very first video I aired. You tell me any of that was right. And in that video, audio recording, you hear me upset. I imagine being beaten for weeks again, things spiraling out of control. I played you the recording of just in that, right after that, when she ran off the next day, filing against me with the Diane Pepler Center claiming women abuse. I played you the recording the morning before that she woke me up, hitting me, yelling at me, threatening me, screaming. But she's the abused woman, right? No, she's playing the abused woman victim card when she was the abuser, and she's getting away with it, which empowers her to do more. And with children involved, that is dangerous. If it was just me and her, screw it. I'd let it go, sit here and do some videos and talk about it, what my life was like, and let it go. But I have a 5-year-old daughter and a 7-year-old son in this mess who are suffering because of it. And a court system who supports that. And we wonder why the world is going to hell.